I'm Lindsay Blom. I want to talk a little bit about what sport for peace and development is. Sport for peace and development is really about using sport to maximize the opportunity to develop peaceful living skills and conflict resolution skills. And the idea of peace is really kind of broad. It could be anywhere from interpersonal and really looking at how individuals might have conflict among one another, whether that is neighborhoods, whether that is religious groups, whether that is just individuals coming from diverse backgrounds and not sure how to engage with one another. It could also be internal peace. We're really working on skills of how do I manage when conflict arises in me, working on how do I develop empathy, how do I just develop respectful listening, some of the real intrapersonal skills that someone may have. Also can be more structural and societal, where we're looking at bigger groups who might have conflict with one another and opportunities to get them to know each other. One of the things that we know about peace and conflict is that when people are humanized, there's a little bit more opportunity to want to forgive and want to have grace and want to understand each other. So the opportunity to bring people around sport or physical activity allows people to be in a space doing something that they like, as well as to engage in maybe more challenging conversations and skill building. Sport in and of itself can be designed in ways that actually promote conflict. We're pitting two groups of people against each other and saying, do everything you can to put the other one down. So just by design in that way, it doesn't work for some of our goals around peace and conflict resolution. So it has to be constructed and developed in ways that are different, which might include putting people on different teams. It might include having a meal before the game together. It might include having a meal after the game together. It might include practicing in ways that involve slowing down to get to know who is present in the activity. It also could engage and be part of a way to bring different people together in a collaborative way rather than in a way that puts them against one another. So there's a lot of ways to design what sport for development look like, and I think it's key that it's co-created and collaborative. So you have experts who understand how to maybe design new sport, who are researchers who know the content and design behind something, but they're not experts in the group of people that we're working with. So really allowing it to be co-created, the individuals who want to benefit from the program and the development, to learn about them, what their strengths are, what's working for them, what their community is like, what they hope to get out of a program, and then bringing those groups together. We've run into problems in the past when we either thought sport in and of itself would solve all peace and conflict problems, or we have individuals who actually come in and say, my way must be the right way. We have a lot more productive programming and conversations when the groups are working together and individuals are really treated as experts among themselves. So when we bring people together, we can then design programs and look at the psychosocial, the conflict resolution, the peaceful living skills benefits that come out of that, and then systematically study what was working and not working in those settings. And a lot of good work can come from those programs. Sport and physical activity excite people, and so oftentimes we can get people who don't want to talk about a challenging topic to come to the table, so to speak, around something else that they love. And so I think it's a platform to get people in the room, and then we can design that platform in order to maximize the benefits and the goals that we have beyond sport performance. We were doing some work in Nigeria. They were using basketball as a way to help reduce the mental health stigma, increase physical activity, and just help high school age youth really be more engaged with their peers. And this was not a basketball program like we think about organized basketball. This was just using basketball as a tool. So sometimes they used basketball as a weight, as they did different conditioning exercises. They also did yoga, and they did some physical fitness and activity. And so it was just, again, a conduit to get youth interested. Because if we said, come after school and let's talk about mental health, they would have not showed up. But they did show up for basketball. And so in there, we invited all sorts of skill levels and really worked with coaches. We used local coaches. We taught them some programming ideas and how to have communication in, how to invite people in, how to make others who were less engaged pulled into the activity. And the research that we did was actually on the benefits of the coaches. And the coaches talked a lot about being trained and having this education and then having this responsibility increased their own understanding of mental health. They said that they started using these stress management techniques that we talked about. They understood more about how the mind and body worked, and so they actually became better themselves by learning through this material that then they felt responsible to teach to their youth. So it is a field that is continuing to grow, is continuing to learn what best practices are present, continuing to bring people together from different fields, and I think has a long future in front of us.